In this video, we'll step through the workflow that's built into the template for completing a code compliance plan, including the occupancy schedules, the partition fire rating, the door fire rating and egress calculations, and the travel distances. The first thing that we're going to do is open up one of the code compliance plans. I'm going to use level 1. Code compliance plans are area plans, so you'll find them below drafting views in the Parallax template. When they open, one of the first things that you'll have to do is place area boundaries and Revit areas everywhere that you would like to differentiate between occupancy or plumbing calculations. For the sake of this demo, I've gone ahead and placed areas in the different rooms already. It may get confusing when you're working in the code compliance plans because you will actually see both rooms and areas unless you choose to turn off your room objects. I prefer to keep them visible so that I can place areas everywhere that I have rooms placed as well. In this case, I've placed the area boundaries and the areas, and then I've simply tagged them, and I've used the tag called name, number, and area, and I've given them the name and number that matches the room object that's below them. Now, while I'm looking at this plan, I'm going to shift gears to fire rating the partitions. Some of these partitions have already been fire rated, and you'll see that they're showing the stripe that says I am a single hour rated wall. To accomplish this, all that needs to happen is the walls themselves will have the parameter called assembly fire rating assigned switched to the rating that the wall should be. If the wall is capable of holding that fire rating, you'll see the wall automatically change to show the fire rating hatch. In this case, I'm taking a wall that is capable of being 1 hour, and I'm marking it with a 1, which says it is a 1 hour wall. If it needs to be rated for fire and smoke, you can also change its rating to the value of 1S, at which point there is a different hatch pattern that will show it for 1 hour fire and smoke. The partition types are built such that they have a potential fire rating, and then that is compared to the assigned rating that you're giving it when you're typing in this value in the code compliance plan. So if we type in a 1, we know that this 4 7/8 wall will properly rate itself. However, if we come in and type in a 2, you'll see that the partition will not allow this to happen. It will turn a bright red color, and that's because this partition is not capable of carrying a 2-hour rating. One additional handy thing that's been built into the template is all of the fire ratings are showing on the code compliance plan only. But if you go to your other plan types, even though the fire rating filters are not showing the overrides in this plan, the partitions that are incorrectly fire rated are still showing their overrides as if to indicate to the project team something is wrong. This wall type cannot actually be here if it does indeed need to be a 2-hour wall. If it does need to be 2 hours, we know that we need 2 layers of gyp on each side, which will mean using a BB style wall instead of an AA style wall. So I will switch those wall types. Because we're now in the overall plan, you'll see that the wall's graphics go back to normal. If I go back to the code compliance plan, at this time it's now showing the 2-hour rating instead of the 1-hour rating. Keep in mind that you don't have to select all of the walls and type the ratings into their properties. You can also use annotate tag by category and start placing wall tags on the walls if you would like to rate them in that way. Parallax wall tag has the rating in the center bottom field. So if you click into that field and type in a rating, you'll see the walls rate themselves. Keep in mind these tags do not have to stay, nor does this have to be done in the code compliance plan. They can be tagged on other plans and the ratings will still show up. Placing ratings on the doors that are inside the walls is similar. You can use tag by category to place a door tag over the door. The default door tag is going to be the tag that simply reads the number, but if you were to select that tag, you would find out there are other door tags that are loaded as well. There is a door tag rated that's called life safety, egress, number, and rating only. If you place that tag, you'll see that the door number is present and then there is an available field for fire rating in minutes. If you fill in that field, it fills in the door schedule simultaneously, and it also makes the doors so they are no longer half-toned or light gray. That is your key to notice that the door now has something going on other than being an unrated door. As you're looking across the plan, if you're seeing fire-rated walls and then you come across doors that are not colored in some way, you know that they probably aren't rated and they need to be. Here is an example of an entire area where the ratings have not been set yet. So if we were to grab all these and switch them to 2 hour, we would see that they cannot be because they're the wrong wall type. So we would select them again, convert them to an MBB3, see the ratings, and then we would grab our door and we would set door fire rating minutes to be 90. You could do this in the properties of the door just like you can the walls if you wish to do that. We can now tag by category and place a tag on the door, and then switch it to one of the life safety tags. The tag we looked at previously was number and rating only. There is also a tag called number, rating, and occupancy. This particular door tag will show you the door number itself, the rating in minutes, and the number of occupants served by the door, which is automatically populating. There is also a field for required number of occupants outside of this door that has to be filled in manually, as the model is not sure how many doors you have exiting out of any particular space. Once you have all the fire ratings set, you can then progress to working on your occupancy and egress calculations, which will be covered in the next video.